You're gonna leave you? This?
Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah, don't worry about anything.
All right.
Tell me your story, yeah.
Thank you. I don't know if I can say that the whole of this story started from one very sad word which I got to hear back in 2017. I was postpartum, I was a student, I just had my daughter, and someone from my very close circle told me that I'm worthless. At the time when I was thinking that being a mom and being a student is already much more than enough. I was 20 years old. I was studying in the university, but when I had my first child, I had my family, I was living in Dubai, I was thinking this is literally it. And when I heard this word, like, you're worthless, in terms of I couldn't make money that time, I did not understand how people actually live, how to pay bills and everything. It was very new to me. And I remember this was a month of Ramadan. I was standing in my kitchen and I just raised my hands and made dua that please God help me to find myself. I can't believe that I'm that worthless. And this is actually how my journey started. First of all, after that dua, I realized that I want to start my other educational journey as a social media marketer. I got an online course. I understood all the mechanics behind Meta, even if I had my blog that time, and it was, by the way, a faceless blog. It's very trendy today, but that time it was not. Anyway, so I really started to understand the mechanics behind. That time it was Facebook, now we call it Meta, behind Facebook, behind Instagram, how to promote the post in the correct way, how to choose the audience, etc. I was working for my first social media project, posting 30 days in a month. I was making stories, I was taking care of all the mechanics running around the profile. My first salary in a foreign currency was 5,000, which was equal to 280 dirhams. And Rose, my first employee, who I remember with the love of my heart, she paid me 10,000 in a foreign currency, which was 200%, and she told me that she can clearly see the potential in my work, the way I work, the way how structured I am, the way how responsible I am. And this was my first step towards the digital marketing journey. After this, I went back to my university studies, which was the best ever decision. I finalized my degree. And COVID started. I very well remember that day when I lastly went to university to give my exam. And in a month or so, COVID hit. And I remember one of my clients called me and said that they don't need my service anymore. This was exactly the moment when I understood what layoff means, and that being hired and work to somebody is completely not what we call stability. Many different events happened after this time, and I got my second baby. And I very well remember this post-COVID period when I was standing in a 2-floor villa. I had my family, I had 2 kids, I had my degree, and I was feeling this sort of fulfillment. Then out of a sudden, divorce hit. Which is also a very different story. When this period of my life approached, I realized that I don't fully understand the meaning of being fully financially responsible, not only for myself, but also for the family, for the 2 kids. This was my breaking point. So basically, this was the start of the journey which changed my life to before and after. I usually call this moment the changing moment, before and after moment. Today, of course, when I look at myself back to that Asal who was 23 or 24 years old, she was very much afraid of numbers, of the bills which were supposed to be paid. I remember I was working 10 projects in a month. Of course, no motivation, only discipline. One day, I really had to increase the prices for my services because I couldn't take that much projects. I very well realized at that time that I don't want to be hired. I want to see my kids growing. I want to see their first steps. I want to hear their first words, and still being present on every school event for my kids or competition event is what matters most for me. And I started freelancing, so I was ideally working from home. I had my laptop with me. I had all devices which I've needed. Slowly but surely I got my first mic, I got my first light, etc. And I started to film videos about digital marketing, mostly about websites, which I have started to do to produce this time. My first ever projects were brandings. After brandings, client came back saying, Asel, please, we need a website now. And since I was capable of doing websites, I knew the platforms, I started to do that, and I very quickly realized that I'm already more than just logos, more than just a brand book. I want to build proper, large-scale digital platforms. With this, for 2 years, I was freelancing, and for the second year of my freelancing back in 2024, I remember I wanted to be something more than that. So I realized that my freelance journey has to end in 2025, and I want to open my own company. With the years I was freelancing, I had an opportunity to properly develop my reputation, and my clients were ready to give me all their digital presence, like social media, website, SEO, promotions, etc. Everything. And I realized that being a freelancer, I can't do this all. I was a conductor and an orchestra at the same time, and I very quickly realized that it's not possible for me to keep my freelancing journey. So back in 2025, I opened HOOQ Studio, the digital marketing service company, and we quickly expanded and gained a very good partnership within the market. However, as we all know, the unpredictable geopolitical precedent happened in the region. I realized what a founder actually means. So it's not only about saying that you're a founder, a CEO, hiring people, being in a much better quality networking, but it's also a huge, much more level of responsibility behind the scenes.